If you're about to have your very first professional wrestling match, today's video is one you cannot afford to miss. I'm running down 9 tips to ensure you get the very most out of that all-important match number 1. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. Throughout my career, I've been very fortunate. I've worked in front of the cameras as a pro wrestler, referee, ring announcer, and commentator, and I have also worked behind the scenes in wrestling as a promoter, booker, agent, coach, consultant, and a bunch of other jobs too. And I bring the sum total of all these experiences across decades of working in wrestling, and I serve it up right here to you on Till We Make It. If you're down with that, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe right now and ring the notification bell so you find out every time I publish a new video. It's usually about once a week. That's the goal here. It's only possible to keep this a weekly channel thanks to the support of all my awesome patrons. So, thank you very much. No matter what tier you are supporting Till We Make It at, this wouldn't be possible without you. Thank you very much. Today's video centers on the experience of having your very first professional wrestling match. And of course, I'm going to draw on my own experience as a coach. I'm going to draw on my own experience having once had my own first match ever. But also I'm going to call on the experience of a few of my trainees who just had their debut matches over the weekend. And I want to take all of this well-informed hindsight and break it down so it can benefit you before you have your debut match. And you're going to want to pay very careful attention to the even-numbered tips in case you're making a list at home. Don't miss those, okay? Ready? Let's do this. If you're about to have your very first pro wrestling match, a mistake I want you to avoid is this. Don't drop your character the moment the opening bell rings. There is often this tendency, especially among inexperienced wrestlers, to just revert into practice mode and start repeating mechanics. Like, here's my wrist lock, here's my headlock, here's my waist lock. But remember that you are performing a character in the ring, even if it's exceptionally broad, like arrogant heel. That's a very broad character, but you still need to perform that in everything that you do. The way a plucky babyface grabs a side headlock is going to be different from the way an arrogant heel grabs a side headlock, and it's all down to your performance. So call on your performative tools and remember to infuse everything between the bells with the same level of character work as your entrance. Number 2, if you're about to have your very first pro wrestling match, remember to slow down. Through the process of all of your preparation, all of your training, all of your rehearsal for this very first match of yours, you have developed some degree of what I call wrestle brain. And that means that you are able to process, to comprehend wrestling moves and escapes and reversals and spots, etc., at a faster rate than the average consumer of wrestling. And that's the people that are going to be out in the seats watching you. Because you are processing it at a faster rate, you need to slow down so that you don't lose the audience. You need them to appreciate every single thing that you are doing. If you want the best possible reaction, they've got to be able to follow and comprehend what you are doing. And so, to safeguard against your wrestle brain accelerating the pace that you think the match should be conducted at, I'm going to call on you to slow down. Before I break down this third thing on my list, would you pause for just 1 second and give me one tap of your finger and leave a like-a-palooza on today's video down below? Thank you for doing that. Okay, up next, I want you to think of your match structure first, spots second. What does this mean? You may know that I break down all the components of a pro wrestling performance into one of 3 categories: mechanics, performance, and structure. And spots and moves, those are mechanics. But I want you to think of structure first. At any point during the match that you feel like you are unsure of what should be coming next, go to the structure first. Is this the shine? Is this act 1? Am I in the middle of the heat? What's appropriate here? Does the comeback need to be happening now? Think about where you are structurally and then the spots will come to you. If you know what is appropriate for each of the 3 acts of the most traditional wrestling structure out there, then the spots will come. But sometimes when you're trying to just recall the spots, it feels like you're grasping at straws. Ground that feeling by thinking structure first, spots second. Number 4 on my list I know is going to ruffle a lot of feathers out there. I can feel all the hate coming down below in the comments section for this one. It is controversial, yet brave, and it must be said here, my friends. Number 4 is slow down. All right, up next on my list is this one. Don't let your nervousness dissuade you from working the crowd. You have to engage them. Especially if you're the only person having their debut on this particular card, you have no choice. Because everyone else who's a little less nervous than you are will absolutely be working the crowd. And you will stick out like a sore thumb if you don't. It can be challenging the first time you take the ring to try and engage with the crowd. But they are there to have a good time. They are not there lined up, buying tickets and taking their seats specifically to dog you every time one of your moves doesn't look especially crisp. And yes, there might be some really harsh critiques in the middle of your match from the occasional heckler or irate fan out there. Don't let any of this dissuade you from working the crowd. They are an essential component of our art form. Number 6 is so obvious, I can't believe I didn't think to mention it before. You should slow down. Up 7th on my list is the answer to the question I think I get asked most often by rookie wrestlers, which is, what do I do if I just forget everything? What do I do if I get completely lost while I'm out in the ring? And the answer is, you're going to ask this 2-word question, what's next, of whomever is nearest to you in the ring. And that might be the referee. That might be a ringside manager. Just ask them, what's next? And like in the case of the referee, if they don't know, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go and ask your opponent, and then they're going to come back with the answer. Just ask, what's next, of whomever is closest to you in the ring. If you've been studiously jotting all of these down as I've been covering them in today's video, and you're looking at your list right now, you might be thinking, oh, I bet you Mike is going to say slow down again as number 8 on his list. And you know what? You're right, slow down. This last one on my list is certainly not least, not in my opinion anyway. When all else fails, just sell. Just sell. Don't spring off to the ropes thinking that 2 strides later you're going to magically come up with a brilliant idea or remember what's next. If you can't, just sell. Don't come firing out of the corner with a bunch of wild and meaningless strikes, hoping that somehow that's going to cover up the fact that you don't remember what you're supposed to be doing. Just sell. There you have it. 9 distinctly different and entirely unique tips to get you through your very first pro wrestling match. And before you have that match, you might be offered this bit of non-advice. Someone might say to you, hey kid, just relax and have fun out there, huh? Do you know how many rookie wrestlers I know who have come back from their first match and said, oh, I was totally relaxed and just had fun out there? None. 0. It's perfectly natural to be nervous going into this. So much of your life, your work, your energy, your creativity, your money, your time has gone into preparation for this match. There's a lot on the line. It's natural to be nervous, but you can also be well prepared. And that's why this video exists. I want you to have as much information at your disposal as possible so you feel ready, even if you don't feel relaxed. And I need your help now because it's my goal for this year to reach 100 patrons on my Patreon page. And a link is going to pop up on screen in just a second that will take you directly there. If this kind of information is valuable to you, if you want Till We Make It to remain a weekly channel here on YouTube, I need your support right now. Follow the link to my Patreon page and join this awesome roll call. We would love to have you as part of the community. Thanks.